There's a moment in every investor's day when you have to look at the sky and hold that sell button. Bitcoin losing those 40 is nerve-wracking for everybody in the media. There are indeed psychological prices in the media, where the border between holding and a tranquilizer to get better sleep is very thin. Now the news is a whole other subject in itself. You as a trader, tell me, what other asset in the market costs $39,000? As with every drop, and to sell the news, media outlets and many newspapers write faster than they can analyze. So, to keep the trend going, they had to come up with something to explain why Bitcoin fell 7% and lost the critical $40,000 support level since March 16th. The inherent risk from rising rates and an even more conservative FPD puts many holders on hold. That decline wasn't alone. After 10 years, the Treasury yield hit a 3-year high of 2.78% on Monday. The riskier assets take the hit since fewer giant whales are a conflicting world. Bitcoin, as it grows, so does the correlation between its price and the one on the tech Nasdaq Composite. In the last 2 months, they were similar in price action. The more the Fed tightens its monetary policy to fight inflation, combined with the current Ukraine war and shutdowns in China, the more Bitcoin seems to suffer. The recent meteoric rise of Bitcoin to those 48,000s was for Terraform Labs buying $230 million on Bitcoin in 1 week, which currently holds around 40,000 BTC on its funds. Terra Foundation added that 230 to back its stablecoin Terra. Of course, when Bitcoin falls, everything falls behind it. Ether declined 9%, along with ADA and Sol both at 11%. But wait, what was that? A holder yelling, "Buy more?" For some people in the space, every dip is an opportunity. And you know, when you hear them say buy more while BTC's price melts, it's easy to make a meme out of them. But when you notice they're right, it's too late. Let me give you an example. In theory, it's a no-brainer to buy Bitcoin if it falls to $1. But who would make a million purchase if it only costs $1? Not easy when you're at the moment, but buying or selling is a 70% emotional job. That's why we got news on Luna. There are many opportunities besides Bitcoin, and if you look for Binance more than once, you can start to understand it. I remember my first time with Binance. I thought I was on the wrong page. I couldn't figure out how to buy or sell. Now I know which button is which. To get that stop gain polish, it's another history. Luna is on a historic mission. Like Elon Musk, it can travel to Mars, but with its market cap, they want to reserve for $10 billion on Bitcoin, all by the Luna Foundation Guard, which holds 40,000 Bitcoin. The LFG is a new nonprofit that wants to maintain the Terra ecosystem by building up that 10 billion wall for backing the UST, a stablecoin issued by Terra, one of LFG's leading players. This market cap doesn't move slowly. Since BTC dropped 10%, 260 billion were gone in just a week. Luna pledged 10 billion. So it doesn't seem impossible if we look at how this market moves the money. Terra, it's expanding those reserves, not only on Bitcoin but also on Avalanche, the 10th biggest cryptocurrency by market cap. Someone at Terra read a book about essential investments or something came up. It was an aggressive move to back up all the UST only on Bitcoin. Now they choose to diversify. 100 million is destined for Avalanche Foundation to boost that stablecoin reserve, which has a native token of 22 billion by market cap. Terra, it's spending up that 10 million buy, and with Bitcoin giving discounts, it's way more doable. UST's ability to remain pegged to the dollar, well, it's getting the job done. The algorithm stablecoin, if it's not backed by fiat currency, maintains that peg by issuing and destroying Luna tokens, Terra's native cryptocurrency. However, they have diversified into Avalanche because of its UST reserve. As a result, it has accelerated growth and a strong community behind it. If you can fill stadiums with your token, you're good to go as a stablecoin. After all, no asset will cost anything with no one behind them. Ask those holders about that. Both Avalanche and Terra are Layer 1 blockchains similar to ETH. As a result, users can write codes and build different projects from the ground up, from NFTs to DeFi apps. These developments get the engagement rate higher than ever with active participation users. As Kwando states, AVAX is a growing ecosystem fueled by the loyalty of its users. In Ethereum, we don't find that same feeling. It makes more sense for Terra's team to diversify in Avalanche rather than Ethereum. Another fueled by the future is XRP, but a future with some sinking to do. Not long ago, down 7% one day despite major good news on its lawsuit. A lawsuit that is getting a lot of attention from the whole crypto community. Ripple versus Ripple versus the SEC. Ripple, it's the XRP's parent company. The Securities and Exchange Commission has alleged that Ripple executives engaged in unregistered security filings, effectively deeming XRP security. But this ruling has been pushed back. This is a victory for XRP and a precedent for all future regulations on the field. A precedent that we can all stand for. Imagine that the one on the other side of this lawsuit, well, it's the SEC. It's even a bigger deal that when Cardano moves. A discovery was made by Empower Oversight, an organization that attempts to be check and balances to help curb abuse of authority. They released some emails that leave the SEC on the wrong foot. Former SEC official William Hinman reportedly violated various cautionary emails from their ethics team, warning Hinman not to meet with his former employer. And who was his former employer? A promoter of Ethereum, which by SEC standards wasn't deemed to be a security. A Mexican novel at the core, since there's an important legal conflict of interest. Some cryptocurrencies may have been promoted over others. Empower Oversight filed an administrative appeal challenging the SEC. SEC's claim they conducted a thorough search of various systems of records regarding conflict of interest with cryptocurrencies unsupported. Unsurprisingly, the SEC failed to describe the scope of its searches. They caught them red-handed as they can assure that reasonable steps were taken to locate and produce responsive documents. In the crypto space, there's a lot of suspicion and theories as to why the largest crypto in the community has never been targeted by the SEC. To this ongoing novel, there's one more season until this case is resolved. Meanwhile, for XRP investors, this is a win-win-win scenario. This set a new standard and regulation that'll help keep echoes rumbling for many years to come. It's true that the current price action of the market, with constant falling, brushes off good news and unseen precedents that XRP investors are getting. But if there's some investor out there who wasn't sure if buying XRP was a good idea, then with this catalyst, that buy order begins to take form. As much as a good piece of good news it is, it's not the end of it yet. Officially, there's no resolution to this lawsuit. But that driver marks a before and after. It's a matter of time before a big bull run or a significant fall dumps the price. Would you come along into this leverage uncertainty? Talking about the SEC, a survey of financial advisors and Grayscale, the largest publicly traded Bitcoin globally, a behemoth with over 700,000 investors and more than $24 billion in assets, suggests strong support for spot crypto ETF. The more adoption by the mainstream public crypto wins, the more financial products they'll have at its disposal. A survey released a few days ago showed that 72% of 500 financial advisors would be more likely to invest their clients' assets in crypto. Grayscale won't stop in a survey. It's all in launching a campaign to encourage U.S. investors to submit comments to the SEC. The regulator is expected to decide with a red or green light on Grayscale converting its Bitcoin trust into a spot BTC ETF for listing in none other than the New York Stock Exchange. Yes, we're talking on those terms. The future is no longer a utopia or a hope. It's becoming an increasingly adopted reality. What would you do? Refuge on Bitcoin? Hold it for that $10 billion from Luna? Or wait for a cataclysm on XPR with these ongoing lawsuits? We'd love to have your thoughts. Power up that like and subscribe so we can keep you updated on all things crypto. Take care.